Hello and welcome to our live class today. It's been a few weeks, but here we are. Today, I'm going to be talking about twisting, and I hope you're all well. I have to thank you for your requests and your comments. I have received some requests for Chaturanga Dandasana, which I'm not ignoring. I will get to that in the next few weeks. But for this class, I wanted to explore twisting. And I think that is such an important aspect of a practice. And sometimes, things happen where you start discovering a little bit about poses and different effects that they can have, not just on a physical level, for making sure that the muscles and the body is healthy, but then um, sometimes I think we're all lucky enough to maybe tap into a different aspect of a yoga practice and what it may do in a different level other than just gaining physical ability, flexibility, and strength and all those things. And so maybe without too many words, we can experience what that means. So last week I was having a conversation with a very dear human being in my life, and we were talking about all kinds of experiences, and some of which were very traumatic. And so in growing and healing from these things, I think that there is so much support in forms of like the intellectual part of the healing. So in therapy, which is so important, and speaking with someone about so we can intellectually sort of process these things that have happened. And then of course there's medication, and there's all kinds of different ways. And the question that was raised in this conversation was, is there a way to remove that pain from the tissue? The way that this person told me said, can I feel like the pain was so much, it permeated to my tissues, and how can I remove that, or can that ever be removed? And of course it's a figurative way of speaking, but it's also a real feeling. It's a real sensation sometimes, that it's just so deep that it's in my tissues. It's what a way to express a pain. And it's funny how sometimes things work in such beautiful ways. And then we've had, I come back and we have our weekly yoga classes with Ramanand, and somehow, we hadn't talked about this, but the class is all about twists and about this, this beautiful way of maybe discovering what these blockages are. And I just thought, wow, how did it all come together to have this conversation, and then to have this beautiful class that evolved in that way. And so for our class today, I wanted to share with you maybe just, at a very, maybe starting at a very gross level on how to approach twists in that way, so that we can discover a little bit about these blockages, and then maybe see, okay, is there a way that I can think of this pain lifting from the tissue level? Is that a thing? So can we discover together and learn together what that means, and maybe go through the process in the body and then see what happens. And so twisting, it can be very subtle. And so the more practice that you have with it, maybe the deeper that you can feel something. And perhaps those aren't the words maybe that everybody would use, but in trying to express this, it may be something that you have to do for months, before feeling this. But I think that even at the gross level, you can start feeling the benefits of the twists and what it does, and maybe you're open to allowing it to release something. And so we have to start somewhere. So we can explore a little bit of what that means today with twists. and how to get to the place where we can refine these twists, which won't necessarily be, an aerobic exercise. It will be more of just subtle movements and discovering about the body. And then once you learn that, perhaps if I can share a little bit of the insights of the class that we had with Ramanand, maybe I'll post them in the channel so that you can at least get a taste of what it's like to do it in much more refined and advanced level. So I hope you like it, and we'll start out by just sitting in a comfortable position and closing your eyes. And what you discover in your body through these more subtle and quiet practices, you can then apply to your poses so that you can do them more efficiently, and you can do them correctly also, so that you do not only receive the benefit from the pose in a physical level, but you start discovering what it means to work at an energetic level or organic level and work like that. So close the eyes and soften the eyes, the ears, and the throat, sitting in a comfortable position. And take a few deep breaths. All right, so we'll start out with a very basic pose, a basic standing pose. This should be definitely part of a daily practice. It's a standing pose. It's called Trikonasana. We've gone through this pose, I think, often in the channel. I can link below too on different ways to learning how to do this pose, but we're not going to worry too much about exactly where to place the feet and all that. We're just going to try the pose with the ability that we have today. So come to a mat here, and I'm going to bring a chair. So if you have a chair, I would bring a chair. It's probably a good prop to have today because we're not going deep into the pose, but we're just going to do a simple Trikonasana. So I'll do it to the right side first. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to stand legs distance apart, and then I turn the back foot in a little bit, and I turn the right foot out. And keeping this back leg very straight, I place my hand on the chair here and I come into Trikonasana. So if I were to be here, right, my body is not twisted here, but what I'm doing is I'm not twisting, I'm turning my foot out, and now I have a twist, right? So I'm twisting here. And if I notice on this pose, I have my hand here, not in front of the leg, but behind. I'm going to use my shoulders here. That's essentially maybe like the go-to way to do this. This is not the instruction for the pose, but this is a tendency that I have to come in, and we use our shoulders to twist here on Trikonasana. So go ahead and twist Trikonasana however you would do it if you want to come down a little bit further, but notice the twist. And that we lead here with the shoulders to complete this twist. Okay, and if you can bring the head up, really keep the legs that are your base, so keep the back leg very planted onto the mat. And then when you're ready, put more weight into the back leg, inhale and come up. And we're going to do the same thing to the second side. So what I want you to notice while you're doing this is, are you holding your breath? And what's going on your spine? Do you feel the twist here? Are you able to feel the twist? You understand, yes, I am twisting in this pose. And what's the quality? Where are you twisting from? Is it easier to twist here? Use the shoulders. This is a way to twist the head What's the quality of that spine in the twist? Are there places in the spine that you feel maybe that area didn't twist because I have so much tightness here in the middle of my back or in the sacrum, and so that the spine is just twisting here at the top? How is this whole area from the perineum pelvic floor area? How is this twist coming up all up and down the spine? So just feel what's going on for a minute and make sure that you keep on breathing. So don't stop to breathe. Okay, and then inhale and come up, and we'll do one more twist here for now, where I come down the same stance, but I'm going to do the reverse twist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my left foot back, right foot forward. I come down onto the chair and I twist. Instead of twisting so that I am facing the outside here, I'm going to twist towards this leg. So twist here, and this is a much deeper twist. And then see what the quality of the twist is here. Am I really using my shoulder again to just yank the top of the spine? And where is the twist impaired here? Can I twist from the base of the spine, or can I just twist here in the back because of lack of openness in the hips and the legs? Okay, just notice that. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so bringing the legs apart, face forward, and then twist towards the left here. So down towards the left. And if this is as much as you can go, make sure the legs are straight and just twist. Check the quality of your twist. And breathe, inhale and come up. And then feet together and come down. And so here you can see this is a great pose. And you can see sometimes, the quality of the twist isn't there, and we force with the shoulder. So what we're going to work on now is exploring that twist and how it's working in your body. So sit in a comfortable position. If you want to sit on the floor, go ahead, or go ahead and sit on a chair. So for now, I'll sit here on the floor, and just a cross-leg position would be fine, or you can sit in Virasana if that's easy for you. So sit in a comfortable position, and we're going to start out by twisting to the right first. So we always twist to the right first in these seated positions. And so I'm going to just maintain a grip in my stomach here, and maybe I'm not going to lift my chest. So I'm doing maybe the opposite of what you should be doing. So don't hurt yourself. So don't grip too much on the stomach, but attempt to twist from here. So if I hold my breath, I kind of hunch over a little bit. So I'm doing the opposite of the correct action. Okay, I'm doing the wrong action here. And I grip my abdominal muscles, and then I try to twist. There's a pull. It's not a comfortable way to twist, right? Okay. And then come back to center and do the same wrong action to the left. So we tighten the stomach, and then we twist, and we end up not being able to receive the twist here. So I use my shoulders to complete a twist. That's perhaps at a very gross level. It looks like a twist, but how can we refine it from here? So come back to center and allow the spine to come back into its centered position. Notice if you were, puffing out the ears, puffing out the eyes, or holding the throat. So we're going to do this one more time without exaggerating any tension in the belly, without exaggerating, coming forward, just as you normally sit, without holding any tension in the ears, the eyes, and the throat. Go ahead and twist to your right. And then we go ahead and turn the head towards your right shoulder and breathe. And start noticing the quality of your spine. Come back to the center. We're going to do this one more time to the left. And then you notice the spine, neutralizes back to center. Give it a minute. And then inhale, exhale, twist to the left. So this is a little bit more refined. You're not gripping the abdominal muscles. You're lifting the chest a bit. You are twisting on the exhale. And you're releasing any tension in the eyes, the ears, and the throat. Is there anything that you feel while you twist that you could release? So is there a catch anywhere along the spine? Is there a catch on the throat? Can you lift a little more? And can you feel that twist coming down from the base of the body? Or do you feel it starting here or starting at your shoulders? You feel a twist more on the upper spine. It sits in the back. I have to show you on the front because my hands don't reach, but do you feel more on the, this dorsal region or, lumbar, or do you feel it in the neck? Where do you feel your twist? Where do you feel that grip or that pull when you're trying to twist freely? So come back to center. And now we're going to sit on a chair because I want the flexibility of the hips and the legs not to come into conflict with what we're trying to do, just to feel the twist. So go ahead and grab any chair that you may have, as long as that chair has a horizontal seat. So if you have a chair that's, has a slanting seat, that might not work very well for this. So we're going to grab a chair here. Okay. And too far away. And I'm going to sit on the chair here. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that my legs reach the floor. Let's see. If I'm a little bit taller, grab a few blankets or a few blocks and go ahead and put the block so that your feet can reach the floor, so that your knees aren't elevated too much. Okay, and if you need a little bit extra length, go ahead and put a block underneath the feet so they're not dangling, depending on the chair that you have. Okay, so go ahead and sit on the chair carefully. And so we're going to do this for a few minutes. We have, maybe 12 minutes left. So we're going to refine the twist a bit, and we're going to see what we discover here. So sitting on the chair, I remember the feeling that I had in Trikonasana and the standing pose that we did. And sometimes there's a huge discomfort in the twist because of the tightness in the quads. And so it doesn't give us that ability to twist fully. And so many times we think of, well, this is just the pose, and you use your shoulders and you forget that the twist includes every single vertebrae in your spinal cord or column. And so can we start breathing so that each breath will touch each vertebrae as it comes down? And can you start to sense that? So in the beginning, it's very figurative, very poetic. Eventually, you can really start breathing and feeling the breath, not in the front of your chest, but feeling the energy of the breath. If you want to speak correctly, in a language that's not figurative, the breath goes in the lungs. And it actually does not go anywhere else. But when we speak in this way, it's a sensation that you're bathing each vertebrae with the breath, and it's trying to sense where that energy is blocked. And then with the twist, we're going to understand that each one of those is going to twist. And there are going to be areas where they're blocked by tightness tightness in the back, or maybe there's an injury and in any given body there's a vertebrae that's a little bit twisted more than another, and how can we start exploring that so that when we twist, we make sure that we're twisting consciously, we're intelligently twisting, not just turning at the shoulder and expecting that to give us the benefits that we expect from twists. Okay, so here we go. I hope that's making sense. I hope you like this kind of work. The first time you do it can be a little bit frustrating because it may be difficult to feel, but as you do this more and more, it becomes quicker and quicker where you can pinpoint the part that is tight or that's not twisting, and maybe that's the reason behind a pain in a posture or inability to do the posture correctly. So then you can start addressing those things. And in Ramanand's class, he goes, of course, the refinement gets, it's an endless refinement, but then you start learning how to work when you do sense a vertebrae that's out of place or turned in or out, how to work with that vertebrae so you twist from there, or using that vertebrae to twist so that the twist it's smooth and it's wonderful and you're releasing blockages at a different level than just the physical level. So without too many more words, we're going to sit down and really feel your sit bones onto the chair. And take a few breaths where you release the eyes, the ears, and the throat. All right. So as long as there isn't any puffiness coming out on the ears, as you keep your throat soft here, as soft as you can, softness in the eyes. You inhale, you lift the chest. So I won't have a collapsed chest like this. So I don't lean on the chair and I lift the chest as if I had these two helium balloons inside my lungs that are giving me this effortless lift. So I lift the chest and then I start twisting from the very base of the pelvis. So I start twisting from the very bottom here. So release the belly and twist. And I'm keeping the chin here in the center of my chest, so in this little notch between the collarbones. And I twist, so I'm not leading with the shoulders, I'm not starting to just yank with my shoulder, but I'm allowing each vertebra to twist. And I'm noticing if there's one that gets stuck. If there is, I just stop and I breathe into that vertebrae and I see if I can release some fibers of the muscles in my back, if I can release the abdomen, so soften the belly. And as I exhale, I twist. And I'm not looking for a very deep, fast twist. I'm looking for, vertebrae by vertebrae. Can I twist? And can I just notice where I have some tightness? And then inhale, lift. Exhale, twist a little more. And when I've reached, my twist, I go ahead and I inhale, exhale, and I turn the head. Very slowly, I turn the head to my right shoulder. So inhale, lift. That internal effortless lift. Drop the skin of the back. Exhale, twist a little more. Can I notice the grips? Can I notice where my back starts tensing? Did I lose the twist in my pelvis? Or in this region, the sacral region, the columns stop twisting there? And when I'm ready, inhale, exhale, and then slowly untwist. So untwist every little vertebrae. And give a few deep breaths in the center. And feel each vertebrae coming back to center. Notice if any parts get stuck. Allow them time to twist back. Then lift the chest. Have this sense that the skin of the back is coming down towards the sacrum, chest is lifting, ears are soft. Did you accumulate more tension in the neck while twisting? Breathe through that lump so that your breath slowly just, erodes the lump in the throat. Notice if you have more softness in the belly, more ability to release the grip in the abdominal muscles or in the muscles of the back. Maybe there's some chronic, tightness there, chronic pain even. And we'll do the same thing with the few minutes we have left to the left. So here, go ahead and inhale. Lift the chest, and it's that organic, almost effortless lift of the lungs as if you had divine hands, magic hands, and they're lifting the lungs ever so slightly so that you can have this effortless lift of the chest so that you're not collapsing the shoulders forward. Relax the shoulders so that they're not attacking the neck or the ears. So they're just relaxed down, not pushed down, but just not coming up. So again, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to start twisting from the base of the spine. And by that, I mean from the lowest point of your spine. And see if you can hold the twist here as you continue to twist vertebrae by vertebrae to the left, trying to send the breath to each and every single vertebrae, feeling where you find a blockage, where there is either a muscle spasm or a block. If the block starts in the neck, just breathe around that blockage. So inhale, lift, and starts the twist. So we start here at the base. Without leading too much with the shoulder, twist first the sacral region, then the lumbar, and then start moving up the back. And notice when you start twisting at some point in your back, do you lose the twist at the bottom? So re-engage that, lift, inhale, lift, exhale, twist a little more. Lift the chest. So we're breathing here. So you inhale, lift the chest a little more. Notice where you find a tightness. You can stop. Breathe into that tightness. Release. Maybe release just a few fibers of the muscle. If you start feeling a catch, start breathing into that catch. See if you can release it. And then once you reached a point where your lower back, middle back, the top of the back is twisting, then go ahead and lift and twist the head very slowly, making sure that you're twisting the head almost as if you were twisting from the middle of this chest here versus just twisting the neck. So the twist is coming, picture it coming from the middle of the back here, from the middle of the chest. So twist the neck. Don't just twist the head. And slowly inhale, lift, exhale, untwist. And give yourself a few breaths here in the middle. And just watch as the spine untwists and recenters. All right. So noticing any tension in the eyes, the ears, and the throat, any tension that gets more, pronounced, and start breathing into that. So if you feel the ears puffing out, just stop, release the tension in the ears, and then keep going. And so this is a really great exercise. You can do it, every day a little bit and start teaching the spine how to twist in this way. And making sure that you don't add any more pressure into the head, right, into the head diaphragm. We have some really great classes on that, on how to inhale, have the brain release into each other, into itself. Exhale, the brain releases out, never expands, so there's never a built up tension. So you can learn this way of just releasing the sense organs and lifting the spine and twisting vertebrae by vertebrae. And then you can apply that to your poses slowly and with patience, and see if it does improve the quality of your standing poses, and also improves maybe the ability to tap into that aspect of the pose, which is so transformative. So we have a few seconds left. You can try your standing Trikonasana one more time here. So start out with both feet pointing forward, then we turn the right foot out, and you can use a wall here, or you can use your chair again, so that when you twist here, you're twisting from the base of the spine, and you're twisting, and you're seeing as you go down, do you still have the ability to twist the whole spine versus just the upper chest or just the so how much does the flexibility of the quads here, the more flexibility start gaining in the quads and in the hips, then you can twist more freely here too. Come up, and we're going to use a block here. To the left side. If you have a wall, you can lean on the wall. If not, use your chair as a prop like we did in the beginning. So inhale, come down. And here, notice how the quality of your twist is affecting the pose and your breath and the height of your chest. And press the back foot into the mat. Inhale and come up. Okay, and then if you have time to do a 2-3 minute shavasana, it would be really beneficial to just lay down symmetrically and see what the impact of this practice is on your body and your perception of how you're twisting. And you can even, and this was part of the work that we did in Ramanand's class. We used a little towel like this, and we placed it on the mat like that. And when you lay down, and you can do this a few minutes before shavasana or before the practice, you can put that underneath the hips here, and then it gives you a better sense to see if there's one coming forward, or if the left hip comes forwards a little bit more, or the right, and you can put this up on your back and start getting a sense, do I have a little bit of a twist in my spine always that with time I can, work with or correct or work towards? Does the right side of my body push against the mat a little bit more than the left? Do I have a little twist in the body? And you start noticing that, okay, wow, in my body particularly, my right side sits into the mat much heavier than the left side. So softening the belly, the eyes, the ears, and the throat. You can remove the towel and rest in Shavasana for a moment. You can stay in Shavasana. I'll come out to end the class. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have a great time exploring your spine and your twists, and I hope that this practice really helps you start exploring what it means to maybe release this pain and tension that we do store in our tissues, and see how does that translate in your body versus just in words that are so limiting, because they have to be figurative, versus scientific, or yeah. All right, I hope it helps. I'll see you next week here on the live class, and I'll link some helpful videos as time goes on to this video, so that you can have a reference on twists and on how to work in this way in poses. Thank you. Have a great week.